If you had to buy a car, what would you buy? Mark 4 Supra.
Coming down like precipitation. I ain't never been a
Hello everybody, welcome back to Auto Anorak. Today we're going to be talking about Stradman. Finally, I'm sure some of you have been waiting for the Stradman content, maybe none of you have, but we're here. Today's video is about a car that caused a craze in the automotive scene that we've really never seen before other than the C8 Corvette. I'm of course talking about the 2020 GR Supra, a car that, yes, many will call a BMW. I think most of us by now are bored of those jokes, but Stradman bought one. He was probably, I think, the first really big YouTuber to buy one, and there were a couple other YouTubers like TJ Hunt, I think, was the first one to mention that he'd be getting it, and then a lot of people may say that DDE kind of copied Stradman in getting one, but yeah, basically loads of YouTubers bought the 2020 Supra and they all decided to upgrade them and create series on them, and this is why I'm pretty confident that the next car, or definitely a car this year coming to the Stradman channel, is going to be the Mark 4 Supra. We're going to talk about how I know it is a Mark 4 Supra, why the Mark 4 Supra is such a good choice, and I'm going to be talking about the Mark 4 Supra and potentially the things that he's going to do. So let's get into it. Stradman's next car, the Toyota Supra. For anyone that doesn't know, the Mark 5 Supra started being delivered in 2020 last year. It's a rebirth of probably the most iconic Toyota ever made, which is the Mark 4 Supra. What made the Mark 4 Supra so special? Well, of course, Paul Walker drove it in the Fast and the Furious, in that kind of orange with NOS bottles in the back of it, a ridiculous car with some crazy designs on it that some might say beat the Dodge Charger in Fast and Furious, but no one really knows. The Fast and Furious franchise has always loved the Supra, and you can really see how much of an integral part the Supra was within the Fast and Furious franchise, in that it was the last car that Paul Walker ever drove in the movies. The Supra also has an amazing tuner culture. Whenever you think of tuner cars, you probably do think of a big single turbo Supra with 1,000 horsepower. You'll see them on that racing channel. Of course, you'll see them on 1320 video. I always remember that video of a Supra beating an Aventador, and everyone loves that. Everyone loves the kind of underdog, and this is why this series is going to be so special and so incredible. So, number one, how do I know that Stradman is buying a Mark 4 Supra? I watched the Graham Stefan podcast with Stradman, and I would advise that lots of you guys watch it too, and one of the things was, Graham asked him, what's the next car? You know, what's the next car you're going to get? And he started talking, and he basically said, without a doubt, if I get any car this year, I want to get a Mark 4 Supra. Obviously, he has the GTR, the JDM car, but I know that he wants the Supra. Why does he want the Supra? Because dollar for dollar, it is probably the greatest return on investment that he's ever had on any car on his channel, because basically, Stradman's channel really started getting millions and millions of views on every single video from the point that he bought the Supra. The Supra really brought him over that million threshold to where he was getting 1 million views in every video. And the fact that he's getting more views than he would on a lot of Aventador videos from a car that costs maybe $60,000-$70,000 is ridiculous. It's insane. So he will undoubtedly want to repeat that again, and I think it's that Supra name. The Supra name is so iconic, everyone can't get enough of it, and so a Mark 4 Supra being brought to the channel, it's a no-brainer. It really is. So what do I think is going to be done to this Supra? Well, I think this is going to give him a chance to really do a full-on build. Obviously, he's doing this Liberty Walk Aventador at the moment, and I think the Liberty Walk Aventador only happened because of his Mark 5 Supra. The Mark 5 Supra was definitely the introduction to full-on tuning cars for the Stradman channel. He put some spoilers and some Gallardos and things like that before, but this was the first time he did a full wide body kit with the RocketBunny kit, and also the first time he did some huge deep dish wheels and performance upgrades. I think the car is up to well over 500 brake horsepower, and it's also on air ride. You can definitely tell that Stradman loved SEMA, and also the fact that his car was practically center stage. That's quite an amazing achievement. And spectacle to witness as someone in the car community, especially someone that years and years ago was kind of just creeping in the back entrances to SEMA, trying to get all the content that they could, to what has happened now. It's quite crazy seeing the progression, but I'm pretty sure he's going to want to do something similar. He did have the purple seats for the Supra, and he wanted to do a full purple interior, and I think having seen what he's doing to the Aventador and having seen him talk about potentially respraying the Veyron, potentially redoing the interior, I think personally the MK4 Supra is going to be the perfect platform to try and test all of these things out before he does them on the big supercars and hypercars. Crazy saying that now that he has a hypercar. I started watching him when he had a Lotus Elise. Mind-blowing that he has a hypercar now. I think he's probably going to do a purple interior on this thing. Fingers crossed he's going to do a purple wrap, because purple Supras are rare. They're a rare breed, and I think they are absolutely beautiful. If I was to have a Supra, it would either be purple or white. I do like black Supras. White and black Supras are probably the most common ones, but purple really spices things up. And then I think what's gonna happen is he's gonna build this GTR to be faster than the Veyron, obviously, but then I think he's going to have to do GTR versus Supra. And having a fully built GTR and a fully built Supra to race against cars like an Aventador and a Bugatti, he can recreate videos which nowadays still have millions and millions of views with just his own cars. Like, everyone loves an underdog. So the GTR currently is an underdog that's going to beat the Veyron, and hopefully the Supra is also going to be an underdog to beat the Veyron. So that is going to be a really cool series. Drag races do very well on YouTube at the moment. Car Wow is a perfect example of this. So we're definitely going to be seeing that in the future. Can you imagine Stradman's first car with two-step? The flames are going to be astronomical. The views on views are going to be astronomical. He's definitely going to be getting a MK4 Supra. I can't see him not getting a MK4 Supra after him saying it to Graham, after seeing how well the past Supra did. I'm looking at the views here, and as of the time of recording, he's got the Jeffree Star bought my Supra video, 2.7 million views. Taking delivery of my Supra, 1.7 million. The $3,000 exhaust, 864,000. We've got 1.8 million, we've got 1.2 million, we've got 930,000, we've got another 900,000. This car made an awful lot of money. You've got to remember, Stradman makes roughly about $8,000 every time he makes a video that gets 1 million views. So on average, that car is probably getting, I'd say, 1.2, 1.3 million views per video, and he made tons of videos with the car. So that car easily paid for itself, whereas cars like the Aventador have to pay for themselves over a long amount of time. But I think the Supra probably paid for itself plenty of times over. So that's why I think Stradman could do an epic build in a Supra, spend like $120,000, $130,000 on it, and he would still make so much money. It makes a lot of financial sense. It makes a sense because it's what you guys, the audience, and myself, of course, want to see. And that's the cool thing. You know, these YouTubers are raking in so much money that they can afford Bugatti Veyrons. Imagine what they can do if they go back to the tuner culture. And JDM is becoming incredibly common at the moment in the car scene as something that people like. I remember in about 2013, I'd always see these memes about, oh, if you like Lamborghinis and Ferraris, you're clearly not into cars. I like RX-7s, etc, etc. I've seen this going on throughout the years, and it seems to have exploded in 2020, and people still think they're being like unique by loving JDM cars. Now, I'm not necessarily hating upon these people, because I guess I understand it. I think a lot of people obviously think that if you build up a car and upgrade it yourself, you're much more of a car guy that just splashes out. And in many cases, that probably is true. You know, there are plenty of rich people out there that just want a flashy Lamborghini. They don't really care about it too much, and they go get it. Whereas someone that spent hours and hours of painstakingly working on their car, they're obviously going to be more into cars than the next guy. But equally, you can have a Lamborghini owner that's really into cars, such as Stradman. Anyway, enough of the JDM rant. In short, you've seen it on TikTok. I see it on my car TikTok. Every time I log on, there's loads of people fanboying over Supras, R34s, and you know what? I get it. I want to go to Japan next year because I am absolutely obsessed with Japanese car culture, their Lamborghinis, and of course their Skylines and Supras. I love them. I know a lot of people hate on them. I'm sure a stock Supra probably isn't a very fun car. They're only like 320 horsepower, but the Supra is such an incredible machine whenever you look at some of the tolerances of the components. The original transmissions in the 6-speed twin turbo models was 1500 horsepower. Those gearboxes these can handle 1500 horsepower. They come stock with like 300, so they can handle 5 times more horsepower than they ever were supposed to. It's these incredible levels of over-engineering that Toyota did which do make these cars quite incredible and notorious in tuner culture. So with the JDM scene, the JDM name becoming more popular than ever, with demand growing from Supra lovers, with him seeing how much his viewers have loved the Supra in the past, it's a no-brainer. The Mark IV Supra is coming to the channel. Look forward to it. I'm certainly looking forward to Stradman's channel in 2021 with the Supra. Sorry for going on for a bit of a rant, but I will see you in next video. Take care, guys.